Hi. Hello lads. It's me, Benny. Back again from a year of not being here. Anywho, let's get into it. So, Jujutsu Infinite. What is this game? Since you're already watching this video, you probably already know what this game is. So I'm probably not. I'm not gonna jabber more about it. So once you get in game, make sure to press customize first, because in there you can get in your techniques. To get spins, there's a few methods. There's like 4 methods. The one blatant method is buying it, of course, but these are rather expensive. The 500 one is 2k. Yeah, it costs 2k. Pretty expensive. The other method is codes. Codes is probably the most easiest methods, but it depends on how nice they are with them. The third method is AFK world. It's just the time chamber of this game. You stay AFK and you get a amount of spins. I don't know the rates, but it's very bad. That's what I know. And then the fourth and probably the most reliable method, except for codes, is daily quests. There are numerous daily quests around the map, and every time you complete a daily quest, you get 10 spins. You can do these quests every 16 hours. Which one of these techniques are good or not is... I was going to say it's entirely up to you, but that is not the case. A lot of these are pretty shit. If you're talking about like the clear winners here, it is usually the special grade ones. And almost all of the legendaries are good. So if you get any of these two, you should be fine. So with these techniques, there is a lot of moves. All of these moves costs mastery and money. But at the end, there are a few special moves called maximum and domain moves. Not all of them have these, but some of them do. You can see I do not have them unlocked. That is because you gotta get certain items to unlock them. As you can see, it says domain shard required to unlock and maximum scroll required to unlock. These two are insanely hard to find. These are not easy. Very low drop rates. I think is a 0.something% chance of dropping per chest. Very hard to unlock, and these do not cost money to unlock. So the moment you get the item and redeem it on one of these, you get them. But don't worry, if you progress the storyline, you can get a free maximum scroll. It's not really the maximum scroll, it's like a storyline exclusive maximum scroll, but this can be redeemed on any technique you have, and that's pretty nice. You should be very careful on which you choose though. I'll probably explain in the tier list video about that as well, which maximum to get, so just stay tuned for that. The domain shards, or the domain itself, you cannot get that through the storyline. You don't get a domain, but you get something similar. You get something called an incomplete domain. It is basically like a domain expansion, but it doesn't have any domain effects. It just gives you a little damage and I think defense buff. You get this from the last story mission in the story mode. And this one is really good. Even though it's incomplete, it is exceptionally good to have because you can contest other domain users with the incomplete domain. So if somebody pops domain expansion on you, you just pop the incomplete domain and just do a little clash. You know, at least it gives you a fighting chance. But that's it for the techniques. Let's go on to level. What's the fastest way to level up? There's a lot of different methods, but the fastest way is probably just spamming the storyline missions. When you are in the lobby, you press J and you immediately teleport to the mission NPC, or you see like a yellow text that says something and then level. So just spam the storyline because it gives you a lot of XP until you can't anymore, until you have to reach a certain level. Once you have to reach a certain level, go back to the lobby and then go to missions. Target any mission that is around your level. Don't do any of these. Okay, there's a certain mission you should do that is the fastest and the most efficient. That is, let me see if I can reroll and get it. Is capture a point. Just click accept and then you press J again and you'll be teleported to the mission. And all you have to do is simply stand in there and just kill the curses. Because when you kill the curses, you get EXP. And when you stand there and complete the mission, you also get EXP. 2 birds in 1 stone. And once you're done with the quest, press J, come back to the lobby and rinse and repeat. If there's no more capture point, just reroll again and... yeah, there we go, the second one. But before you start doing all that, there's one very important thing you gotta do. That is to eat the consumables. The takoyakis. These joints. This takoyaki grants you temporary 25% plus mastery boost. Max of 10 minutes, of course. And then the dorayaki, which is the exact same, but just EXP boost. Max of 10 minutes as well. So just eat. And since there's a maximum of 10 minutes, you can only eat 4 of them. Because I think eating 1 gives you 3 minutes. And boom, there we go. Now I got these 2 boosts, and it'll boost me a little bit. These are extremely common to get. So you will have no worries having them. But once you reach certain levels, you cannot progress any further. And that's because you gotta rank up. You gotta talk back to the lobby. Come here, back here. And talk to the clan head, this fella right here. And they will tell you what level you need to be to rank up and what it costs. So just follow that and pay whatever you need to do, and then you basically uncap your level to a new soft cap, which you just rinse and repeat, do the missions, yada yada. It's basically that. Eventually they will become very costly because, you know, you're gonna be spending money on the techniques. I know you are. So the fastest way to get money or the best efficient way to get money is probably to do two things. And that is to A, spam missions. They don't give that much, but they give a decent amount. Or you can do bosses. Although they're a bit more difficult, they do give a little bit more. And they might be faster in some missions. Depends on how fast you clear them. Investigations are not really the best way of getting money because they give around the same as bosses, but it just takes 10 times more to do it. So I would not do investigations if I was you. Let's move over to something very important, and that is your stat allocation, okay? So if you go to stats, you can see on the bottom right, you can see my stats like total over there, and the stats you get from armor is also included here. So let's start from health. Health is not that important. It's kind of good if you want to have more bulkier build, but usually your armor covers a lot of health, like a lot of health points. So I just leave it at very low. So I just upgrade these 2 nodes, and that's pretty much it. I don't need anything more. Focus is something you should really focus on, and that's just no pun intended. This is a really good stat tree. This is the one that deals black flashes and gives you the tokens, like the token amounts. What I mean by tokens, focus tokens, are these blue things in the bottom right. Right now I have 4. By default you have 3. If you get this, you should have 5. This makes your black flashes insanely strong, and black flashes are really good. This is probably your main source of damage sometimes. And you also get some buffs and stat bonuses if you have certain things. You can also get health back from black flashes, but it depends on your preference. Then after focus, I would say you should go either technique or strength, like focused. Right now, I'm pretty much technique focused, but that's because of my armor. Armor gives me a lot of technique. As you can see, my technique skill tree is kind of lackluster in the side branches here. I just fully delved into the main branch and I didn't care. And that's the same for strength. I did not care for the side branches at all. I just fully went straight forward. That's because I just want the stats. That's it. I didn't care for any side things, side effects. These are not important. For me, at least, for my build. For PvP, I would probably recommend going more into strength with these individual skills. This is something you should explore on your own, to be honest. It's not that important. I would say focus is probably the most important because you can't really get focus points from armor. I don't think any armor does that yet. And then technique and strength come second. Health is probably your last priority. There's also something called chanting, which is from technique, which you get from this. To keep it brief, you need to use focus tokens, these blue things, to chant. As you can see, Molten Palm glows purple. Or is purple because it can be chanted, and I have 1 focus token. If I don't have any focus tokens, the shit is white. So what does chanting do? Well, usually just buffs the move or give it a different effect. If I use a regular Molten Palm, I'll probably deal well, that's around 1,300 damage right there. As you can see, I damaged them as well, and that built up my focus bar right there. So that's how you build up focus. You just damage, pretty much. How you do chant, you just press M2, and then you press the move. So M2 and then G. There I did around a bit more than 2,000. You can also do something else with focus. If you have 1 focus bar or more, you could do black flashes. So if you right click and press R, you black flash just like that. Right click, press R. I just one shot everybody. But again, these are not the high level curses. As you can see, my focus token here has turned red as well at the bottom here. That means you have 1 black flash token. Once you reach a certain amount of black flash tokens, some moves, like the maximum moves, like my Jacob ladder here, can be used. Let me see if I can reach 3 black flashes real quick and show y'all. There we go. 3rd black flash. And now you can see I can use Jacob ladder, which I will use now. There we go. So pretty much all maximums, I think, I'm pretty sure use black flash tokens. And like I said, some items attribute to your stats. For example, the Cloak of Inferno right here gives me more health, strength, and technique. Same with, this gives me health and technique. That's why my technique is up right now, because a lot of my items are focused on technique. On the topic of items and shit, how do you get them? Well, you can get them from chests. And how do you get chests? You get them from various things. You can get them from missions, bosses, and investigations, and other things like the AFK world. But some items are exclusive to certain things. Example, if you want this axe right here, you can only get them from certain missions, like the Kuro Camp set and Nuna Temple set. That means you can't really get this axe in any other mission. For example, if you did this mission, you could not get the axe in this mission. That's pretty self-explanatory. But there are some universal items in every chest. Example, the domain shards, the demon fingers, and the maximum scrolls are but a few examples of universal items that you can get. These ones might have the same rarity as some of the the items that are labeled in the bosses, investigations, or mission, but doesn't mean you are guaranteed to get them once you reach a rarity. Sometimes you can get these universal items instead, which could be either a good or bad thing. It depends on what you want to get. Once you do open a chest, you can see at the top right, you have a luck percentage. This luck percentage is increased through various means, and depending on how you got that chest as well. From mission chests, you can't really increase his luck unless you're playing with other people in your party. I think this is a theory. I don't know if this is true. If you play with other friends in the bosses or investigation missions, the more people you're playing with, the more luck you have. I don't know if this goes for missions, but I hope it does, because if not, this shit is terrifying to farm. You get cards. You just click on them and the rarity reveals, and if they're a higher rarity, the color increases. And now I'm getting buns. Oh my god. There we go. It got to a green rarity. And I get these things. That's pretty much it. It is really important that you always pop luck consumables before opening chests. Very important, because it's just a waste if you don't do that. So what I mean by this, if you go to inventory and go to consumable, you have various, or depending on what you got, you might have various means of doing that. Example, every single cat, like these things here, the beckoning cats, gives you a high percentage luck increase. Depending on the rarity of the cat you have. It's for the next 10 chests you open. Just pop any cat you have, just press use, and it will pop up in the top right corner. It will say how many uses you have of this left and how much luck it increases. But that's not all. You could also do something called luck vials, which are here. You probably are gonna have a lot of these things. So it increases your luck by 5% for 2 minutes. So just pop one right before you're gonna open chests. And there are other various items for increasing your luck, like white lotuses, but this should not be used when you use a cat. They should be used independently because it overrides your luck. There's another item which is called the fortune gourd, which is a splash luck potion essentially. This gives you 100% extra luck, and this can be used with other people. So if you stand next to a lot of people, you just pop a fortune gourd and boom, all of them got 100% luck. For one chest though. It's only for one chest. So it's really good if you think your luck is there. For me, it's not. There you go. I got my luck boost. Let's see what I have now. I have 21% instead of 16, and that's better than 16. Let's see what I get. Well, I got pretty mid, but I would recommend going on the Trello to look for what kind of armor and item you need, because there is a lot of armors and items in this game. But I recommend going to see which one has the stat bonuses and effects you need, because grinding for these things can be tough, and there's only certain investigations or bosses that drop these, so you should most certainly farm those places if you want certain items. The most important items to get is probably the demon fingers. You could exchange them on the curse market. Example, I think it's 49 demon fingers for 1 maximum scroll. So that's what the fingers are mostly used for. They're also used for trading. A lot of people want fingers for trading, so yeah, it's a good trade currency as well. Other than that, domain shards, of course, are extremely important to get, but very hard to get, and the same with maximum scrolls. And the last bit is bosses or investigations. So whenever you do bosses or investigations, it is very important to play with as many people as you can in the lobby. Maximum players you can bring is 4 people, and the more you have, the more luck you will achieve. But usually playing solo could also be beneficial because it's faster. It's just generally faster. The NPCs have lower health, and you can beat the shit out of them faster. It is up to you what you want to do, but I would recommend doing it with multiple people, because then, if they get duplicates, they can trade it to you. Also, before you start any investigation or bosses, it's very important to type /buff in chat. This will make it so you pop all of your, basically your buffing consumables. This will go from all your gourds to all your small vials. This will not include fortune gourd, however, so don't worry about that. But one thing with investigations is that they have extra luck, because they have something called an investigation ranking. If you look at the top right, whenever you do investigations, you see like there's a ranking system. The more curses you kill, the higher this ranking goes, and the more players you have with you, the more curses spawn in, and therefore meaning the more curse ranking you get. So the higher the curse rank, the higher your luck is for chests, which is exceptionally good. That's why sometimes investigations might be it for farming chests or items, but bosses are faster in doing it, but investigations are more luck. So it's, they both have their own benefits. But I think the video is a bit too long now. I think that's pretty much all you need to know about Jujutsu Infinite. There's a lot to this game. I probably missed a lot of shit. If you need help and stuff like that, blah blah blah, I can help you in the comments, or if you join a Discord, I can help you there as well. So anywho, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next video.